struggling to sleep, and I just want to talk about statistics because it occurred to me that my sister, between the ages of 16 and probably 23, did so many surveys. So she would get paid about maybe £3 to £7 to do a survey that should have taken half an hour or an hour, but she could do it within like 5 minutes because she wouldn't read the questions. She would just tick, 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 tick. And yeah, I don't know how many people are like that, but I know that there are some really bad statistics out there because a lot of people start quoting it. I see people like Russell Brand who starts quoting, how much money they made from COVID and stuff, and he presents it as fact. But I'm also, when I hear about that, I think about the Anita Evangelist woman, who's like a Christian lady who, for the last 10 years, has literally just gone online, tried to find as much evidence that the world is about to end, and sort of brings up all these stories. 100 fish die and birds fall out of the sky, and she says all some sorts of complete nonsense, and maybe some of it's true. I'm sure it's not all lies like Wise with Russell Brand. I'm sure there is some truth to it. But yeah, people who take things that can't necessarily be proven and present it as fact, there is some truth in it. Sometimes there is truth in it, and then you see the truth in that, and then you start believing there's truth in everything. So, but yeah, I think both of them do that. But it's like with the surveys, some people who do these surveys and make money, they might be honest. My sister tried to get me to do one of them once. I felt really wrong about doing this. I like the idea of getting the fiver at the end, and I was kind of like wanting to read the questions, and then my sister was like, no, 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 just, and she basically filled it out for me. But I felt wrong about doing it, and some people would feel that way, and some people just don't care. They just think I want the money. So it's also things like long COVID and stuff. Are they people that have actually got long COVID, or are they people that are just lazy and don't want to get out of bed? So try to make up some sort of condition so that they can try and get some sort of government funding. There's so many dishonest people in this world. And when it comes to ITV, or BBC, I've noticed that they started to put that woman, there was a woman who killed 7 babies by doing something to them when they're in the incubators. And you're presenting her as being like an awful, terrible person, and getting the world to be like, oh, that's horrible, that's horrible. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, you do realize that she's probably not going to do anything as bad as what my higher self is going to do through me, or something really bad is around the corner. And if people start seeing that, they're going to hate me way more than that lady. And do they know that that they're kind of they're going to make people hate me? That if you start portraying all these people as being horrible people, I feel like I might be doing something a lot worse, even though it's not actually of my choice. But yeah, just a bunch of things that I want to say. I've also seen I think it was a fake Elon Musk post about statistics of how effective COVID vaccinations are. And they went through, 100%, 100%, 100%, and then 99%, 99%. And it literally went through a different page, a different story about every single percentage, basically, all the way down to about 20% was the lowest, I think. And it's quite incredible how people can just, how so many different stories saying so many different things, and people love to just take stories that they want to believe in, and they can bring it to light. Sometimes there's truth in it and sometimes there's not truth in it, but so many people just want to believe whatever they want to believe, and they don't look at look at the evidence. I would love there to be some surveys and stuff about singers and celebrities, but I also know that if you're charging people online, saying, or paying them to do the survey, hey, do the survey about Anna, do a survey, if you start paying them, they're not even going to read the questions. They're just going to just click any old thing. I think one way of finding out how serious people are doing the tests are to time it. If there's like some sort of timer where they time how long it takes you to from page to page, that will basically give you an indication of who's being honest and who's being deceitful. If there's like 20 questions on a page and you turn over within a minute, they haven't answered it properly. But yeah, it's also like with the national statistics, no, the national television awards. I kind of went on there because I wanted to vote for Rylan as a presenter, but the only way to get to his page was to go through like a bunch of other pages, and I kind of thought it would be fun just to click on things that I thought sounded best. But technically, I hadn't actually watched any of the programs. I hadn't actually seen any of them, so I couldn't give an accurate view on half the things that I clicked on. And even the ones that I did click on, I'd only just watched one of the, like with EastEnders, I'd only just watched EastEnders. I hadn't really seen the others, and yeah, there are some annoying things in EastEnders. I know that. I mean, Stacey's being stalked by someone, and she goes to the police for help, or this policeman that help for help, and there is such thing as a restraining order. You can get a restraining order on someone, and for like a couple of weeks, she was like just worried and panicked, and being like, "There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do." It's like, yeah, I know about restraining orders. My sister's husband got one on her, and yeah, she didn't do anything other than I think show up at his house one day, and it got into a 5-minute argument, and he managed to get a restraining order on her. Anyway. I Yes, I don't know what else to say, but don't just because statistics are saying something, that doesn't mean that they're accurate. That doesn't mean the people that did the statistics were actually, thinking about the questions. I think there's just so many dishonest people that people don't realize how much dishonest people are. You can see it feels like that's what they're doing actually on the news. It feels like they're picking on people. They've picked on Russell Brand. They've picked on the woman um, that killed the 7 babies, or whatever, if that story is even true. And then they've picked on people, and they're saying that they're focusing so much on that, when I think there's so many more stories, or so many hidden things that are not being said and stuff. That anyway.